Hello. So I was not planning on walking today, but here we are sitting at the Malecón. Right in front of me is the mariachi dancer sculpture. And what we're gonna go do today is head towards Gringo Gulch and then go all the way down to Caloso and come back along Emiliano Zapata. Now, hoy no, muchas gracias. Because we know this part of town, I'm going to dash as quickly as I can all the way. Hola, Javier. Muy bien.
What's your plan for tomorrow?
Okay. Everybody's buenas tardes. Everybody's trying to make a buck, isn't it? So, as I was saying, I'm going to walk quickly through the main part of the city so that we can get to the lower part of Gringo Gulch and start looking at what we can find there. So let's do one of those quick and dirty zooms. Okay, so we are now at the corner of Miramar and Guerrero. And just so that you can get a sense as to where we are, if we were to walk this way one block, we would be right behind, well, actually right in front of the HSBC Bank. And those red tile roofs that you see in the background, that is the Rio Cuale Artisanal Market. But what we're going to do here is we're going to let this car go by and we're going to continue all the way forward along this street and we'll show you where it leads after a while. See, a lot of people like walking around Gringo Gulch up on the hill. It's quite lovely. And oh, and by the way, here, as long as we're here, landmark, here is the entrance to the International Friendship Club. And we might as well go in there very quickly so you can see where it is. This is a venue that provides a lot of resources for the local English-speaking community and activities. Obviously, right now they're not meeting, or the business seems to be closed. I don't know exactly what they're up to, but I wanted to show you where their office is within this compound. Also, here is the Prolex, or Prolex, I don't know how to pronounce it, English school, English and French school, maybe Spanish too, I don't know. Anyhow, these are important places, at least for some members of the English-speaking community. I've had the pleasure of giving a couple of lectures at the International Friendship Club in the past. Moving right along. There's a lot of interesting architecture along this street. And of course, many old styles homes that were built here a long time ago. And I'm going to point a couple of them. Check out this label here. This says, Vientos del Río construyó Ingeniero G. Wolf. Well, let me tell you about Guillermo Wolf, because his history with and his affiliation with Vallarta is legendary. Engineer Guillermo Wolf was one of the folks that were instrumental in bringing the production of the Night of the Iguana to Puerto Vallarta. He is also known for his introduction of the cupola to local architecture. And I don't remember all the details about Guillermo Wolf, but I do believe that he was in charge of giving the set builders for the movie a very good deal if they came to bring the production of the movie here. Now check out this view. Yay! Right in front of me is the Isla Rio Cuale, and right next to me are the steps that you would take if you want to walk down to the Isla Rio Cuale. And let me take a quick look at them so you can see them as well. And there you go. These steps are fairly new. They were built just a few years ago, and they are designed to create yet another connection for people living in Gringo Gulch to be able to get down into the city. So more often than not, if you're walking around, you walk up the steps or down the steps, and you turn back to where we came from. But what we're going to do today is we're going to keep walking until the end of Gringo Gulch and the beginning of El Caloso, which is the next neighborhood. This is a windy road, but it's not a steep climb. There's just a little bit of a hill, and that's basically it. Of course, it's all cobblestoned, so you want to make sure that you're wearing your walking shoes, as I am. Buenas tardes. Believe it or not, this is also a two-way street. So sometimes it can be difficult to know when cars are coming or going. I'm going to stop and wait for that car to come by and take a photograph here. The future of Puerto Vallarta. In the middle of our quaint little neighborhoods, these monstrous new towers that are changing the landscape of the city forever. Look, another house built by Wolf. This one is for sale. They must want an arm and a leg for it. Buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes. Buenas tardes.
And another home by Wolf. Again, his importance is amazing. And I know that there are fascinating articles about he, along with a Hollywood agent whose name escapes me, were the ones that traveled to Hollywood to try to connect with John Huston and persuade him to bring his production here. Night of the Iguana, as you know, was filmed here, and it had all kinds of repercussion for the destination. And this brings us to the end of Gringo Gulch. At this point, the homes stop and we start entering El Caloso. We have been talking about El Caloso recently because of those towers, or that construction that was supposed to be started along the Rio Quale. Some neighbors complained about it, claimed that it was unlawful. Apparently the construction was stopped, but we don't know what the details are there. What's important to know about this neighborhood is that several years ago, quite a few years ago actually, you wouldn't walk down this street, not during the daytime, and certainly not during the evening. For starters, it was not even paved. Right now, this pavement that we're looking at is even more modern than the cobblestones we just passed. But you would not be wanting to walk along this street. Why? Because this was not the safest neighborhood in the past. But little by little, with more people transforming it, more people moving here, it's become a lot more livable and certainly a lot safer. We hear of a lot of people buying property here, upgrading the property, fixing up old homes and such. And of course, the Rivera Quale condo building came here and, they built the tower. So, again, the neighborhood is a lot more livable. There are a couple of hidden gems when it comes to restaurants down here that have started making good noise as far as Puerto Vallarta's culinary scene is concerned. So let's take a look and see what we find. Let us actually come this way, and I'm going to try to find the place where they were allegedly building just out of curiosity. But, for example, check out this gorgeous home right here in the corner. This was not there before, and it's a beautiful modern construction. Check it out. Boom. Very nice. So I am walking along the street that I believe is going to take me directly to the building. Although I must admit I'm almost more interested, rooster! I'm almost more interested in walking along the main road so that you can see it. Let me just take a quick look over here to see what we can find. Buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes.
Okay, so here's the Rivera Quale building, and on this side we can clearly see the end of the property. So let us find out where all the fuss was about. Buenas tardes. And if we find it, great. And if we don't find it, we'll go back to the main road. I think I may be looking at where the problem was. Let's take a look. I suspect that the work they were talking about was happening here. Now here we see the edge of the property over here, and this piece of land seemingly not belonging to anyone, but the river is right behind it, so this may be the place where they were attempting to build something else. Again, that's not my war to fight or anything, but as long as we were here, I was just curious. Now let me go back to the main street here in El Caloso, just so that you can get a sense as to the neighborhood. But even before doing that, I mean, look at this. There's all kinds of really cute houses. Very unique flowers. Oh, you know what? As long as we're here, let us take a photo up there on the hill. There is the restaurant. And as always, when I'm walking, the names of the restaurants escape me, but that's the restaurant up on the hill. We should go up there someday if you haven't. And I'll remember the name of the restaurant, or maybe you will for me. But anyhow, this is downtown El Caloso. The neighborhood has a cute little main plaza. There are some kids' games further up. And I'm going to walk down the sidewalk just to show you around. Las Carmelitas is the name of the restaurant. Duh. Las Carmelitas, up there. That's the highest viewpoint in the city where you can enjoy, buenas tardes, a beautiful view of the entire city. Buenas tardes. Hola. So we've been here before. In a previous walk, we came from that point, exploring all the banks of the Rio Quale, and we headed in this direction and continued along the river. What we're going to do today is we're going to walk into Emiliano Zapata instead, because I have things to do in the neighborhood. And if you notice, we were just standing over there taking a look at photographs. So we essentially look at the Rivera Quale building. So we essentially just walked around the block just to show you what's going on. And this was the tree that was plagued with iguanas last time I was here. Let's see if we can spot any. And aha, I see an iguana. Let me see if I can capture it with my little zoom lens. And there it is. And I'm sure there are more of them along this tree. They're just difficult to spot. Ah, there's another one. Let me see if I can get it. One really does have to look for these guys. And this is pretty much the view from this spot. And we can get a better view of that iguana from over here, I believe. Smile, little lady. Or smile, little dude. Okay, so there you have it. Again, in my previous walk, we took a right-hand turn here to follow along the river. Today, I'm just going to continue my way into Colonia Emiliano Zapata, but not without hoping that you enjoyed this walk and that you got to discover a little bit more of Puerto Vallarta along the way. Okay, this is a shady spot, and this is probably a good place to say goodbye. Again, it's been a pleasure walking with you, and I hope we get to do this again sometime in the near future. Ciao.